so glad that you came, and I'm so excited to read a story with you today. Oh, but there's no words in my book. Do you think you could help me by using your Freedom Fairy magic to make a wordy wish with me? It goes like this. I wish, wish, wish for a Freedom Fairy wish. Wow! Oh, now there are words in my book. This looks like a wonderful story. Shall we begin? Over the rainbow and under the sun, in the dreamy dandelion fields of fairyland, lived the sleeping PJ Pixies. They built pillow forts to sleep in from the dandelion fluff that falls softly to the earth's floor. The PJ Pixies are not quite like other pixies in fairyland. They are not naughty or cheeky or full of sprightly energy. In fact, they spend most of their time fast asleep. They speak softly and listen often and watch the world with careful eyes. Pipa the PJ Pixie napped at least 4 times a day. One morning, her friend, Freya the Freedom Fairy, arrived at her pillow fort just as she awoke from her morning slumber. "Happiest morning to you, Pipa," she sang. "Huh? Oh, good morning, Freya. I was just having the most wonderful dream," Pipa yawned. "Oh, do tell me. Have you ever heard of a telephone?" She stretched her hands above her head and wriggled out her arms and legs. Freya shook her head and looked puzzled. "Humans use them to speak to each other, even when they are very far away from one another. Isn't that just incredible? Or would you like some honey milk?" "Oh, yes, please." They sat across from one another and shared honey milk over a toadstool in the warm morning sunshine. "How many times have you visited human land, Pipa?" "Oh, who, me? Oh, never." "Well, then how can you dream of human things? And why do you sleep so often? It must be exhausting sleeping so much." Pipa grinned. "Would you like to have my powers for the day so that you can understand?" "Oh, that does sound like a good adventure. Sure, I would love that." Freya was buzzing with excitement. She finished her honey milk and placed her hand in Pipa's. Together they chanted, "I wish, wish, wish for a magic switch wish." Both Pipa and Freya began to sparkle and glow and lift into the air. They became surrounded by a bright white light before dropping softly to the floor. When Freya opened her eyes, the world around her looked completely different. As the tall dandelions swayed in the breeze, they created vivid, colourful clouds. Freya could hear the beetles in the distance as though they were right next to her, chatting away as they dug their tunnels. The buzzing of the bees above became a beautiful melody, and the flap of the butterfly's wings in the sky created a soft wind against her skin. It was very overwhelming. Freya almost couldn't hear when Pipa asked her how she was feeling. "Oh, Pipa, everything is awfully loud." "Is everything loud? Or can you just hear more?" Pipa replied. Freya wondered this, took a deep breath and listened to the sweet music created by the world around her. It was absolutely magical. "I suppose you are right, but all the colours are so bright." "Well, you are able to see what most creatures only dream of seeing." Freya gazed up at the sky. She watched as rosy love specks drifted in the wind. She could taste them like sugar on the tip of her tongue. As she heard laughter drift across the fields, her fingers tingled and her heart became fuzzy and warm. The earth beneath her feet vibrated to the steps of a gentle giant wandering through the forest nearby. Her body suddenly felt very heavy and tired. Her eyelids became droopy as she lay down beside Pipa in a soft bed of dandelion fluff. she drifted into a dream of a land quite different from fairyland. The creatures were large and had no wings. They travelled in grumbling machines called cars. They lived in enormous houses instead of trees and flowers. They used a different kind of magic, quite unlike any magic Freya had ever seen in fairyland. When Freya awoke, the world had returned to the way that it once was. She threw her arms around Pippa and gave her a big hug. "Wow, Pippa, you sure have an incredible way of seeing the world." "Oh, thank you, Freya. Does it make more sense why I sleep so often now?" she asked, passing Freya another cup of honey milk. "Yes, but I still don't understand how you and I can dream of human land when we have never been before." "Well, because we have an extra special sensitivity to the world around us, we are able to feel human land across the rainbow. Every time a PJ Pixie dreams, we make the connection between human land and fairyland stronger so that fairies can visit our human friends. Plus, humans are funny creatures to dream about." They giggled together. "They sure are," Freya sighed. They spent the afternoon together, drinking honey milk and enjoying all of the wonderful things in the world around them. From that day forward, Freya was always sure to pause when a passing butterfly or an overturned stone captured Pippa's attention and watched her friend in gentle admiration. They both felt so lucky that they were able to be such special friends and wander together through the world that they experienced so differently. The end. Well, thank you so much for listening. What a wonderful story. Until next time, Freedom Fairy Butterflies.